this is Sarah and I'm crafting and relaxing, and I want to show you some card ideas that don't involve any stamping. So if you're a scrapbooker and you don't have any stamps, or you're new to card making, or maybe you just don't like stamping. I mean, there's different techniques, and I think that as you're getting into a new hobby, you should really think about what you like. And you don't have to buy every product that you see in the store or every product that you see in a video. I think in any hobby there are things you will like more than others, and you should really think about what you like. And I love printed papers and inspirational sayings and things that match pretty well, and taking fun print patterns and mixing them up. I have stamps and I stamp, but I make lots of cards that don't involve any stamping at all. It's not cheating, there aren't any rules, and you can make a card any way you want. If it makes you happy, it's the perfect card. And I'm sure that the person you send it to isn't going to open it up and go, there's not a stamp on it. So let me show you some of the ones I have laying here. I'm not sure if we'll go through all of them, but just to give you an idea. There's quite a few of them here that came out of the same kit. It was a mini album kit that I got from, I don't know who the manufacturer is, but I got the kit itself from Embellish Online. And these were the leftovers, and I loved this kit, and I love the mini album. So if you want to see it, put it in the comments and I'll show it to you sometime. It's really fun. The leftovers spoke to me, and I didn't want to let them get away. So I took a bunch of different cards, the scraps. If you look right here, this is literally just a strip. It's all I had left. And then some matching brads. And brads, I have them right here. You punch a hole in your paper, and then you poke these through and fold them over. And they're literally just brads, and they come with all different sort of patterns and things on them these days. Given the choice, I would just buy stickers that look like brads, that have this level of texture, because then they work anywhere. And brads you have to think of before you glue your card all together, right? You can't add them later, and sometimes I change my mind. So this is just paper that looks like a cork board, and it says "Make Today Ridiculously Amazing." And then I have some striped paper and a black behind it, and I just glued it together, and that's it. I leave the inside empty so that I can send it to someone and write in it. We'll work on this. Okay, this one has a brad, says 24/7, enjoy the everyday. And the Scrabble look tiles were in the set, and they said today. I didn't think of that, it was already there. And this printed paper on black, and I just love this one. It sat on my mantle for quite a while, and it might sit there some more. And this one, do something amazing every day. So it's bright and cheerful, has some yellow back here, and I put this on a gray with a swirl, and I think this is pretty gender neutral. I don't know exactly who I would send it to. That is a guy, but I don't know. Maybe it'll come up. Sometimes when you make a card, you don't know. And it's perfectly great for anybody. I think anybody would like that card. So here are two really easy ones right here. You must always be curious. This one was a sticker that I had, and it was sitting around, and then I saw this paper and I thought of it. What I do is I'm going to show you my messy tub. I take a tub or a section, sometimes a little plastic container, a bag, and I put stuff that I like. That's literally the category for things in here. Stuff that I like. This plastic thing with a flower. I'll show you one of those I made a card with in a minute. Another one of these. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. So these are things, I made some pinwheels. I could show you those if you wanted to see how to do that. So these are things that I like, and at some point I will probably make a card with, but for now they're just gathering. So this one, it was gathering. That's how that works. So this is another example. It's one of those clear plastic things. Came in some sort of kit. I put it with pink paper with a really faint white background and mounted it on pink cardstock that's brighter on the outside than on the inside. There's one little glue dot right here, and I glued this piece of paper down. This card is ridiculously simple, and if you send it to me in the mail, I would be very excited to see it. It's cute, cute. Okay, here's a 5x7. This is bigger than I normally do, so it's very different. These are all A2 size cards, so I can use them with my standard envelopes that I have. They're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's half a sheet of 8 1/2 by 11 paper, so this is one regular sheet side by side. These are both cut narrow, but you could also take the sheet of paper and cut it straight in half and you'd have it this way. So in another video I talked about cutting out your card bases if you'd like to go through that. But this one, like I said, is 5x7. I have some old wedding invitation envelopes, I think, that I've been using up. So every once in a while I make a 5x7. And this was a kit, and I thought, well, I'd like a gender neutral birthday card. And sometimes you get done and you think, well, I might have popped those balloons up with foam mount or whatever, but I hope you can see that. It has string, and then I put the cupcake behind it and I wrapped it around, and then it says birthday wishes right there. So it was fun. It was different than I normally do, but I really liked it. Here's one, leftover papers, and I used a corner rounder on all of these corners. If you haven't used a corner rounder before, I'll show you. This is not an item that is a must-have. It's just if you like that look, it's as simple as taking a squared off corner, poking it in there, making sure it's in all the way, and pushing the button, okay? You can get them at any craft store. You could get one online, and it's literally called a corner rounder. So all of these are rounded, and this is rounded, but not a must-have item, just if that's your style, you might want one. Have a bunch of layers of paper and some jewels and some stickers, and then I put black ink around this and popped it up because it was such a small sticker. I wanted to accent it. These two are similar, probably, yeah, out of the same kit. So this one was a fun one. I bought these on a big sheet, just like this one, on clearance, a 12 by 12 piece of paper with a bunch that I could cut up. And then these were leftovers, and I just layered a whole bunch of them on there and used my art glitter glue to glue the little hearts and more hearts onto there and this little good times thing. And then these were brads, so I had to punch a hole through that. And then I used foam mount to mount that. That's why it's raised up. So no stamps, still super fun. And I actually had a lot of fun just gluing more and more stuff on there. Okay, this one I wanted to show you because it's not my favorite card aesthetically, but I love this paper. Make time for the things you love, and it's said it a whole bunch of times here in different colors. And I really liked that it's inspirational, and that was maybe something that I needed a reminder of, and now I'm doing more crafts and making videos, so it must have worked. This card is a lot of pink for me, not really my style, but I do have this one sitting around sometimes to remind me. And then I wanted to show you two more. These were, I know this one was exactly out of the kit from Embellish Online, and I don't know if this one, sometimes I go a little crazy, or I look at a kit and say, no, I won't make it. I know the supplies were from this. I don't know if the kit is exactly as it was shown, but I loved the kit that these came in. I had a great time, and I think I used every piece of it. And I wanted to show you this card especially because if you're just starting out, this is another technique to show you, and it's tearing. So this card is 1, 2, 3 pieces of paper, just different papers, 2 tags, tie a piece of ribbon, and it's mounted with some foam mount, but you can glue it with double-sided tape if that's what you have. And when you tear something, you can see this one I already tore. There's no rules to it. There's no real, just tear it. And it gives it some more texture. So maybe you're not a corner rounder person, but maybe you like the tearing. Just something a little more interesting than the way I have these all cut so straight. This was actually a card I made out of complete scraps. That's why the pieces are so small. That was pretty much all that was left from the pink papers in the same kit. I think it was the same one. It was very fun. I used a lot of it. So the last thing I wanted to show you is a couple of paper packs so you can get an idea when you're shopping, especially if you're new and you're walking around and it's overwhelming. don't be shy about flipping through a paper pack. I've even been known to cut that thing on the side and take a peek if they're all sealed, to really look at what's in there and to see if you like it and if you think you would use it. This one has tiny, tiny words right here. Be your own kind of beautiful, always be kind, root for one another, grow laughter, live your life in full bloom. These are great sentiments, but a little small. So I might be able to cut a strip of paper and then mount it behind and then pop it up, but it, you know, it's not going to show really well. So it would probably be, let me show you the other one I'm thinking of. It would probably be like a secondary message, like this one. I'm not sure we went through this one even. Right here, everyday moments make the best memories. It would be something like that, but probably not big enough for people to really see. So look through it and see. Many times you can find a paper pack that has words that you could use. So you could have your sentiments. I'm showing you both sides because it's double-sided. You could have your sentiments and your words in the same. So the text in this packet is very small. It's bloom where you're planted and that kind of thing, but very small. So let me show you another one. Here's one. So you could cut any one of these out and use it on the front of your card. Be careful and look through your pack. These are very romantic. So I used the My Valentine Be Mine. There was another sheet of this on my husband's Valentine's Day card. Here's one that says, you are the sweetest. You could use that for anybody. Lovely. Here's one that says, so awesome. At the top it says, love you lots. But if you wanted to use this for a coworker, you could put a sticker over that. You could trim that off. You could trim it right there. You could turn it into a flag. So you put something else at the top, maybe another stripe of color over it. You could cover that part up, but just look at them. Many of these are romantic. So you do want to be careful about that, but it's nice to have these shapes and borders. So even if this was something you didn't like and you thought, okay, or this one, oh, that's ugly, I don't want it, you could put some sort of sticker or something over that, and then you'd have this nice background right here. So you're not limited to exactly how it comes. Here's one more I want to show you. I love 6x6 paper packs. I probably shouldn't buy as many as I do, but printed paper I love, and they're small. In a 6x6 paper pack, the patterns are designed to be smaller. They're smaller on the page. So in the store, you might see 2 pads of paper of the same style, 12x12 and a 6x6. And in the 6x6, the patterns will be smaller, which is more friendly to card makers, because otherwise you can't put this flower on your card if it's this big. So look through them, take a look, see if you like them, and think about it. This one it doesn't have a lot of sentiments in it, but it has some fun shapes, and this one says life is fun. You could trim that off. On the other sheet, used the whole thing on something. I couldn't find it to show you. I must have given it away. This one says nice to see you. Maybe you visited someone and you wanted to thank them. Here's one where the patterns are fairly large, but there's a whole page of sentiments here. So you could take a pair of scissors and cut out high five. There's a sentiment here that says high five. So you could circle punch it, you could cut around it with scissors. If you didn't want to cut a circle, you could just cut a smaller square out of it, if you're a lazy cutter like me. There was one that said be brave, so I made a card with that one. That was fun. But you could make a lot of different cards with, oh hey you, let it go, no regrets, why hello. So just keep that in mind as you look through the packs. This is a little bit big, a lot of it, for making cards, but I'll definitely be making some cards with that. So anyway, there's some ideas for you, and I hope that you enjoyed them this evening. And you can think about what you have in your stash that you might want to use, or as you're shopping, think about what you'll actually use, not just what's the cutest thing today. So be sure and leave a comment to let me know what types of cards you or projects you'd like to see more of, or which ones of these items were your favorite. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching. Have fun crafting and relaxing.